You made it, Sol here. And we have a lot to go over for this season on Year 5, Season 4. For Honor has a lot of big updates coming very soon. Well, actually not very soon, in like a month or so. Still, a lot of things to look forward to. I'm going to be going over them as quickly and as painlessly as I can. And I'm just going to showcase all the new weapons at the end of the video with some music. But we really have a lot to go over and I'm super excited to talk about it. So let's just get started. And so with the usual, of course, during Christmas or during the winter seasons, they're bringing back the Ice Brawl stuff. And in the background, you'll see the new Battle Pass weapons and the season event weapons. So have fun with that. And apparently we're getting armor variations too, but we didn't get any videos of that quite yet. We're also getting a few battle outfits and some mythic outfits at the same time. A few new paired emotes which are pretty cool. But let's just get down to the Orochi, Shugoki, Raiders, and Smokebomb and Ki and other feats that are getting nerfed this season. So starting off with Orochi, as you know, if Orochi misses his kick, he's able to dodge out of it and punish anybody who does a dodge attack, whether he deflects it or just misses it and hits you with the undodgeable light. He will no longer be able to do that once he misses his kick, so he's actually going to be punishable with a dodge attack or a dodge bash. This is probably the most frustrating part about his kit when you're fighting against him, so now that they removed this ability to dodge cancel, it's going to be a lot less frustrating. He can still dodge cancel if he hits the kick to external and dodge away from someone attacking him in a 2v1 situation, but he's no longer able to dodge out of it after a miss. And also his forward dodge light, which is called lightning strike, is no longer going to have undodgeable properties, and you also won't be able to delay it any longer than 400 ms. And that's really all there is for the Orochi changes. He didn't need too much of a nerf, but that really did make him feel more in line because of the power creep is very real with Ubisoft balancing. And as an Orochi main, I'm glad because this makes him a lot less oppressive and it'll make him a little bit more fun to play since I'm not just dominating without using my brain. And now we're on to Raider. Now he got quite a lot of tweaks. It's mostly damage tweaks, but there's one important thing you can see here is that his health got reduced to 130 down from 140, so that's pretty big. It helps it so that he's not able to trade so much, but I think the important thing is that his storming tab damage has been reduced to 10, and also another important thing is that after the stampede charge he would go into his kick that no longer drains stamina or stuns you anymore, so this is going to be very helpful and way more healthy for the game. And as you guys can see here, all of his damage values got reduced significantly. I think they're much more in line with the rest of the cast because the CCU was designed to not have high damage values, but now that Raider can get into his mix-up so easily now, and with his zone being so good, with having little to no stamina costs, he can spam that pretty much every time, and the damage values need to be tweaked a little bit. So I think these are good changes for Raider, and these changes will pretty much bring Raider back in line with the rest of the top heroes. I think he's still going to be a top hero pick, like S tier pick really, simply due to his far-reaching heavies and still high damage values with his chains and his zone attack still being pretty good. He still has the same hyper armor, so that's not really going to change with his playstyle. You just won't be able to trade as much anymore, which is a nice thing. And the last significant nerfs for one of the heroes will be Shugoki. As you guys can see here, he kind of got the same treatment as Raider did. His damage was a little bit overtuned, so they decreased it by a significant amount. And one of the important things, one of the biggest nerfs, is actually with his demon ball and his side dodge headbutt. So in a lot of cases, so with his side dodge headbutt, if you try to dodge it with a dodge attack, he would be able to trade with you after following a missed headbutt into a heavy attack. With demon ball, if he hits you near a wall, he will only be able to get a light attack now. He used to be able to get a heavy and a demon's embrace and pretty much turn the tide of the battle by getting his health back and dealing a ton of damage. And so this is very healthy changes for Shugoki. Obviously Shugoki mains are going to be pretty upset, but I think a lot of them will agree that it was a little bit too overpowered. But as you guys can see, all the damage values have been tweaked just like Raider, a lot more in line, bringing all the damage values back in line with the rest of the cast, which was the point of the CCU, and to make fights last a little bit longer. That's pretty much it for the heroes that got nerfed. Really important stuff. I'm glad that they addressed these issues and changed it, and overall I think I'm pretty happy with the results. Let me know what you guys think about that. And now we're on to feat balance changes. Now Short Tempered was the new feat that they gave Armusha and Shugoki when they removed Rocksteady. They just nerfed it down to 15 and damage buff instead of 20. For Slip Through, these were mostly for assassin heroes, and I think it was the biggest issue with the Orochi. So with how Slip Through works on the live version is that if you dodged, you'd get like a set timer. I think it was about 1 or 2 seconds, and any attack you threw after that would get a huge damage buff. But now the attack immediately after the dodge input, which has to be like a dodge attack or Riptide Strike for any other hero, a dodge attack, that is what counts as the damage buff. Any attack after the dodge is done, that will not count as the damage buff anymore. So it's really helpful. Ki's duration before it can be used again has been increased. It'll help out with the team fight. Still, I think it's an annoying feat for tier 1. I think it should be changed to like a tier 2 or maybe a tier 3 because losing all your stamina is kind of annoying. And here we can pray and thank God that finally they decided to nerf Smokebomb altogether. Now Smokebomb is just going to stun and blind you. You're not going to lose any stamina. You're going to be able to parry stuff now, and you're also going to be able to lock onto enemies. There won't be any annoyances with this anymore like the previous Smokebomb where you wouldn't be able to lock on enemies or parry or pretty much do anything. But still, I digress. I think these changes are good. And being blinded by Smokebomb as a tier 2, I hope it's not going to be too overpowered still. It'll be less overpowered than not being able to lock onto enemies or block or parry and things like that, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts down below on the Smokebomb nerf. And we're moving on to the next changes here. Now they did talk about Shinobi's rework on the testing grounds, so we're gonna have to test it out again, and I'm hoping that they're gonna release it soon. But I think let's just go over some of the changes that they did with them, and I think they have it ready to be shipped out very soon. I'm hoping so. So the HP is now going to be 120. It used to be 110, and so this is really helpful. Now he's not going to be such a glass cannon anymore. He's going to be pretty much in line with the other assassins with the undodgeable, unblockable, and a little bit more health. And they also improved his tracking too with his heavies and his light attacks to give him a little bit more boost. They also tweaked some of the MS values of his kick, and there's a new option now that he has for his forward dodge attack, which he didn't have before. It's going to be a new forward dodge heavy. It's 700 MS. It's also feintable, so it'll be a nice addition to his kick and giving him a roll catcher in 4v4. The animation doesn't look too bad compared to the rest of the other heroes that have been getting new animations, and it doesn't look as bad as Highlander's animations, that's for sure. They also decrease his stamina drain on his zone attack, and he can flip after the feint attack now, so that's pretty cool. And he can also do a sicker rain chain afterwards. So after you backwards flip and all that stuff, you can throw an attack that's a heavy attack. Now it's going to be a sickle rain with an undodgeable or unblockable top heavy. It just gives them more tools to attack, because beforehand when you use backflip you'd have no real option besides doing another light attack, and I think that wasn't really a viable strat. And so the unblockable heavy or the undodgeable heavy just gives them more tool and more viability, and overall just make them a little bit more fun to play. And the last few changes that they did was with his backflip. It has a little bit more iframes. You can chain the finishers and flip kick at around 600 MS now, and you can't front roll anymore after a backflip because it was just so wanky and junky, and you didn't really have any real opportunities, and it was just a weird tool to initiate back into the fight. And so just an unblockable heavy or a undodgeable heavy would have been a much better tool to initiate. And that's really all the changes that Shinobi got. I want to see how it feels first, and then we can determine if it's useful or not. But with the changes that we've seen so far in the testing grounds, I think he's going to be a lot more fun, and really I just want him out right now because it's been a very long time and we're not going to get him for until maybe next month or so. So this is really upsetting. Still, I'm happy about the rework and I hope it comes out soon, but we've got way more reworks to talk about. One important one, and that is going to be Conqueror. Now there are a lot of things to go over with Conqueror. They pretty much did an entire rehaul on this character, so he's going to be less annoying to fight. He's going to have more options offensively, and he's not going to really feel like old Conqueror, but he's going to feel like a better Conqueror. And I've seen the gameplay, as you can see in the background. He's going to be way more fun to use, and frankly he's gonna be pretty much like a B pure Kyoshin now, so have fun with that. Still, Conqueror's one of my favorite heroes, and I think he's gonna be a lot better. However, we'll just see how it plays out. I'm just gonna go over all the new information that we have on Conqueror, so let's just get started. Okay, so first of all, his charging state, which is his wailing animation or his flailing animation, it's going to be a lot faster on 600 MS before it throws out an unblockable attack. You're not gonna be able to block anymore when you're doing these, which is a nice change because it did act as a good option select. Heavies, you can feint all your heavies actually into a GB. Now I think it's going to be a soft feint cancel into a GB because you just press GB afterwards, which is fantastic. Finally you can do it, and he's not just going to be a heavy into full block character or just a character that can't throw out attacks and feint and GB anymore. So this is good. This is really good news. And so if you go for a light parry and the enemy throws out their raw heavy, sometimes Conqueror will still be able to block the raw heavy that's coming at your face even though you parried on light timings. That is going to be gone. So he doesn't have the superior block property on his neutral heavies anymore, but now his heavy chains are going to be undodgeable. His heavy chain where he holds it is going to be a heavy finisher, so that's going to be a lot slower, but his heavy attacks are going to be undodgeable within his chains. And he can also throw the same side lights, which have been sped up compared to like the 700 or 800 MS chain lights on the same side. They have been sped up, as you can see in the background, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about the same side lights being spammed at the same time. I think that's pretty funny looking, especially the animation, but we'll have to see how it plays out and how it feels. His zone attack finally got nerfed, and it's not going to block any attacks. It just acts like a normal zone attack. It's going to be 600 MS. I'm not sure why it's 600 when it doesn't really have any of the same properties that it used to. I think they should just bump it up to 500 MS, which should just be the standard of all zone attacks in the first place, unless it has a special property like Shugoki's zone attack that has hyper armor, and it also carries and hits around all around him. You know, the zone attacks that act as a option select that doesn't parry, and it should be fast enough to interrupt an opponent that is safe and start offense that is safe too. But that's just my opinion. They increase the damage and it acts as a chain, so you can throw a light or a heavy attack afterwards, and a bash as well. So he also has a bash within his mix-ups, just like Black Prior, Kyoshin. So a light attack into a bash, a heavy attack into a bash. Same mix-ups as everyone these days. Another change that they also did was within his full block. He can pretty much just cancel his heavy attack and light attacks into a full block now. So he's going to be an absolute monster, just like Kyoshin, Black Prior, Aramusha. He can block attacks. He can use his, oh my god, his flail uppercut now it acts as his first neutral bash that gets into his mix-up, so he can do a full block into bash. I mean, you guys can see in the background, full block into bash, a light attack, unblockable heavy, another bash afterwards. Just a continuous chain mix-up that's gonna be like another pretty much 50-50s all over again, which is good for offense, but I think it's gonna be a little bit annoying to deal with, but we'll just have to wait and see. But being able to cancel into full block that quickly, it's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be very annoying 4v4, especially with Conqueror still having a side dodge bash and being able to full block right away and deal a ton of damage, initiate unblockable offense after that. So he's gonna be, I think he might rise up to the top tiers, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's gonna be awesome because I do like playing Conqueror, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. And let's not forget about his superior dodge, which does act like a pseudo deflect, and he can just use a bash afterwards and guarantee another flail uppercut to get into his mix-up. So this just makes his flow a lot better and gives him more mix-ups in general, which he already had pretty good defensive mix-ups, but this is just gonna make him a lot better. So like I said, let's just wait and see how it goes. And if you didn't notice, they did give him a new animation for his full block attack. It's like a wide arched heavy attack that deals like 20 damage that hits around enemies, just like Aramusha's full block does, which is going to be pretty helpful for team fights and just, you know, being a very defensive powerhouse like Kyoshin and Aramusha and BP. And of course, this also chains into all of his other mix-ups too. A couple of mine with his deflect and his unblockable heavies and undodgeable heavies too. So he's gonna be a powerhouse, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I know that's a lot of information, but let's just quickly go over what Conqueror is going to get. Pretty much undodgeable heavies, faster charged unblockable heavies. He's gonna be able to bash a lot faster within his chain mix-ups, so light bash, heavy into bash. His neutral bash is going to be 100 ms less delayable, so basically a little bit slower to an extent. His full block pretty much operates as like a BP or Kyoshin or Aramusha full block now. He has tons of chain pressure. He's going to be able to light you a lot more now, and I kind of feel bad for the console players because the same light sides and having like there's literally three different options now for you to block or parry on light timings, and he's gonna have undodgeable heavy now. Couple that, so like the light attacks are going to be a little bit interesting, so you console players have to let me know about that, especially old gen con. Yeah, you let me know now. That's going to be hilarious. I'm going to put my two takes on this. It doesn't really make sense to me. The balance rate now for Conqueror is a little bit counterintuitive because here's my example. They took away Orochi's 3-hit chain lights to take away, you know, light spam, quote unquote, especially on console where it was a big problem. But then now they're going to give Conqueror the ability to 3-hit chain lights from all sides. And they're going to be 500 ms, I believe. And so they why would they add that to Conqueror and give him the 3-hit chain light spam? But then they took away from Orochi, and then they keep Raider as an infinite chain hero that also pretty much has light spam with stunning tap, which is unreactable. It doesn't really make sense to me because they're both powerhouses now. Like Orochi has his mix up with his 50-50s, which can be interrupted with a light attack, and it's not be able to dodge. He's not gonna be able to dodge out of his kick anymore, makes it much more fair. But now that Conqueror has all these 50-50 tools, plus a little bit of light spam here and there, it's gonna be a little bit oppressive, and you're gonna have to make tons of reads. So I don't know. And another comparison I want to make too that is counterintuitive for their balancing is that, you know how they removed Griffin's bash to be able to do a light attack or a heavy attack after a whiff bash? They took that away, but then they gave all the other heroes like Orochi, Tiandi, Jingjun, Janhu the ability to light attack after a miss bash or a heavy attack or an unblockable heavy attack, so that they could not be punished to an extent unless you made a read on doing a light attack, or not parry the follow-up light attack at all and expected a heavy attack. Like it doesn't really make any sense, you know. That's just my opinion though, and that's my two takes. And frankly, that's about it for the Conqueror rework and all the reworks in general. Now all of these testing ground stuff and all the new information, as you guys see, I'll put it like the roadmap that they want to showcase and when they want to release all these all this stuff. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be like a month, and then another second month. Of course, it's gonna take forever. It's just dry dripping as content. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels like forever. They're gonna give us a few weapons here in the 1 week, and then the next week, actually in the next 2 weeks or so, they're gonna like let us test out the testing ground stuff. And then the month after that, then they're gonna give us the new hero. So it's gonna be forever. So there's no new information about the new hero at all. So that's a bummer. But at least we're getting a lot of reworks. Actually, we're just getting one rework, but we're getting a bunch of nerfs, so it's going to be healthy for the game. And I believe that is pretty much the important things about the Warriors Den. I want to showcase a bunch of the reworks, a bunch of nerfs. They talked a little bit about like improving Dominion on like base capturing and stuff and point score wise and feats or whatever, but I didn't really care too much about that. And they talked a little bit about Dominion series, but I also don't really care about that, as this game should be balanced for casuals and just start having fun instead of being a super competitive game, because it doesn't have any of the competitive core values in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of the new weapons and the reworks, the nerfs, and all that good stuff. What are you guys excited for? And I'm surprised they didn't tell us or give us more information on what heroes are going to be reworked. They're only reworking on one hero, or basically two, which is Shinobi and Conqueror, but Conqueror's gonna be the main one, and he's gonna get the most amount of reworks. So I don't know why they don't rework Shaolin, Lawbringer, Nuxia, and I forgot who else, but like let me know what else it needs reworks, because maybe it's because they're working on the new hero. I think that's why they're putting all their attention on the new hero. But that's just the gist of things, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave you guys off with the rest of the weapon showcases. If the video helped you out or made your day, please leave a like and comment down below and subscribe if you guys want to see more.
Every time you gain renown, it's no longer going to be lost in the text log of people going good fight, good fight, good fight, congratulating you for being a good Orochi player,